So, following on from last week's video where we took a look at Easy by the Commodores, I thought we could take a look at how I got my guitar tone when I was covering it. A few of you in the comments were asking about it, and I thought it would make for a good follow-up video. There were a couple of you in the comments who, let's just say, I'm incredibly disappointed with, asking what the name of the song was. The video is called It's Easy. Now, you might not be familiar with how we run things around here, but we like a lot of shit jokes. And that itself was one of them, but it's quite an important one. Two extra things. Copyright police swooped in, and Lionel Richie is taking all the money for that video. So if you want to help this channel get paid, then you can support on Patreon, where I will also be sharing tabs, backing tracks, and the preset for this guitar tone. Obviously, you're getting a little bit of an insight into how we made it there. It wasn't a mic'd up amp in the corner. I've got neighbours. But yeah, I'm going to talk you through how we got that tone right now. Honestly, that Ernie Ball microfiber towel, best glasses cleaner in town. Last night, I was trying to watch Andor, cleaning my glasses for about 15 minutes with this shit little cloth, put them on, still smudged. Pathetic. This, 10 seconds, and you're done. I'll link it. You need one of them. Cleaning your phone, your guitar, your lenses, your arse, whatever you want. It's my hard sale of the day done. Anyway, this is my project for Easy by the Commodores. My solo, as you can see. I've got a little mastering plugin on down here, which I'm going to turn off for now. And then you can see here that this is all the audio from the lesson. And then at the end, I absolutely went off on one before I stopped hitting record. I often do that. Maybe I should cut them all together. Quick little thing I'm going to do. Shift click all the tracks. Command Option Shift C. Yes, it's my favorite shortcut. It puts these colored bars all the way down the side that match your tracks on Logic. And for those that like organization, that is one of my favorite things. Why they don't just make the whole gray bar that color, I do not know, Apple. So what have we got? I literally used a plugin called Cory Wong. And this plugin is a plugin that I've used for like years now. And then I got the X version as an upgrade. But you can honestly do anything on this plugin. Yes, I've got my fractal. The one thing about using a fractal is that I have to set it up right as is, or record a separate DI if I want to change it later. When I record a plugin, or through a plugin I should say, I'm free to kind of tweak it infinitely before I bounce the audio and then put it in the video, put it in the video edit. I use this plugin for all my private lessons, again, because I do everything through headphones, so I'm not annoying Gab or the neighbours. And yeah, it means that I've got a completely digital rig. I think I've spoke about this plugin before on this channel. The reason I like it so much is because it was one of the first ones that I played that was like a beautifully convincing, clean sound in a plugin. And I know that whenever I play a clean amp, or one that I can just, one that kind of comes alive on the edge of breakup, it'll take pedals really well, and it's versatile. And I know you get a few different options within there in terms of the amps and the cabs, but this clean machine, green amp, is a beast. And I've done many lessons on YouTube, covers, where I've used this. And I've done many on the fractal, because it's newer. These are my settings. I took the bass off, I took the bright switch off, pushed the mids, and it's pretty much fully open. And like I said, we're on the edge of breakup. That would be my kind of EQ anyway. I pretty much have my sheriff set up like that in the corner. But here's the interesting thing, right? We've got a compressor and the big rig overdrive going into the front end of it. This one rather than the Tube Screamer pedal, just because it was a bit more spitty and fizzy, like like the track. If I just solo my guitar for a second and I put on the tube instead with a similar setting, it's a lot more spitty. Spitty, my favorite word. Sorry. Now, in terms of the cab, this is where it gets interesting. Let me show you why. There is no cab. And I think that's the way it was recorded. This reminds me of what I was trying to do in the Aubrey solo, the song that me and Gab wrote together, because it was like old school 60s. The guitar tone, to me, as soon as I heard it, felt like a head going straight into a mic pre, and it had that kind of like raucous, overdriven, spitty sound. It wasn't smooth. So if I put cab sim back on setting now, this is one of the York Audio ones, which is really great. The what have we got there? We've got the 212 M65 mix and a Marshall 412 together. They'll sound great, but let's get rid of them. That's the sound. Less is more, right? There's no point me cycling around 5,000 different impulse responses because it sounds like none. Moving on to parametric EQ, the mid sound pushed and the treble is ducked, if that makes sense. So I literally put this little filter on here, slow pass filter, and you can kind of see the shape of what you're hearing. If I bypass this EQ and we listen now from the start. Back on. I mean, the difference in that is huge. In my experience with like amps, in terms of EQ, plugins, whatever, modelers, you can do more with a parametric EQ like this than you could with the EQ in the amp, just because it's more targeted. And I often use this in order to kind of maybe trick my ear and your ear into maybe thinking I'm using a different kind of rig, just to annoy you. But yeah, post effects. I went with a reverb. It's not a huge reverb, and the idea of this video is that I'm going to share this preset, if you've got this plugin, for you to download and use yourself on Patreon. So I didn't want to do any EQing or compression afterwards. Literally what you're hearing is the sound of the plugin so that everyone can sound like the Commodores without reverb. It's quite a lot, but in context, that reverb kind of just vanishes into the background because I'm adding me into the track, right? And then the only thing I did to kind of like put like I consider it to be like a varnish or an oiling at the end, like finishing off a guitar. Putting this mastering plugin on just kind of squashes everything into the same place. Without that reverb. It's like you've walked into my bedroom and I'm practicing it over the track, and parents are skint. You're not having a reverb pedal, not for Christmas or your birthday, not even combined. Even if people give you money for Christmas, you're not saving up for one. You've got to chip in for the rent. Who's this? Hello? Charming. I wanted this to be inclusive, so if you get the plugin, you can use my preset, my settings. You can even copy them yourself now, because I've just given them all away for free. Stupid of me, really. It was like when Duff McKagan, that's how you say his name, isn't it? Or is it McKagan? Duff. There's only one Duff. Guns N' Roses bass player. Isn't it with TC Electronics, where he's looking at like the tone print on one of their chorus pedals, and like I don't think he really knows what's going on. They like ask him how he would get his like signature sound using these pedals, and then he puts his settings in, and he's like, yeah. And then they do a tone print, and he's like, okay, cool. And then they go, yeah, that goes out to the world now, so everyone can have that sound. And he's like, right, great. Thanks for giving me advance warning on that. Do you know how much booze and drugs I had to consume, and the fact that I survived that rock and roll period of time in order to, you know, get to this point and give away all my fucking chorus tones for free? I better be on commission every time that pedal's turned on, not even just sold the tone print, every click, 10 quid. Anyway, I want 10 quid for this, so you better get your checkbooks out. I'm going to turn the mastering plugin off, and I'll turn the pedal board off, and I will mute the original version of me, and we'll get the PRS out live. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to come in closer, closer, closer. Glasses off. They're only for educational activities. Now, if you enjoyed this video, usual spiel, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, the bell next to it. And if you want a little bit more information, tabs backing tracks that go along with the guitar lesson for this, or you want to download that preset, then you can do by supporting the channel on Patreon. Remember, Lionel Richie has taken all the dosh for this video, and that's a crying shame. But it's fair enough, because he wrote it. And that's the way it goes. Hope you have a good weekend. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Gives you quite a lot to do. So, yeah. Don't know what else to say now. I'm bored with the sound of my own trap. I'm going. Enjoy yourself. See you soon.